And we're back to our daily segment of Michelle Obama's terrible, terrible life. Boo effing who. She went on a podcast called Diary of a CEO. It's kind of rings a bell like a founder kind of situation. And once again, wants you to know how awful it is to be married with children.
Michelle Obama just walked into the lion's den, and guess who's waiting? Megyn Kelly and Patrick Bet-David, tag teaming like it's primetime pay-per-view. This isn't a debate. It's a demolition. They're peeling back Michelle's polished image layer by layer, torching the fairytale First Lady narrative and turning the media's golden girl into a case study in elite branding. Buckle up, this takedown is savage, strategic, and scorched earth brutal.
Michelle Obama is slammed for whining about costs in the White House, okay? I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. This is her speaking with, is this the Diaries of a CEO, right? So, Rob, if you can play this clip, this is her talking about how expensive it was to live in the White House.
Megyn Kelly didn't stroll into this topic, she stormed in, stilettos on, and verbal knives sharpened. Forget feel-good memoirs and podcast playlists, Megyn brought receipts, a razor-sharp memory, and no tolerance for political cosplay. Her target? Michelle Obama, the carefully curated queen of inspirational branding.
Just many natural reasons why marriage, infertility, trying to have kids makes things difficult. It's like, I try to tell couples, of course it's hard. Guess what happens when it all works out right? You know what you end up with? Babies. Little people with their own sense of everything. They mess you up. You love them dearly, but they're a hassle.
What? I mean, there's something wrong with this person. Like, she's seriously depressed. She has the most negative, dark outlook on life I've ever heard from a public figure.
To Megyn, Michelle isn't the relatable icon the media worships. She's a Disney princess in a power suit who claims to hate politics. While simultaneously dominating Netflix, best-selling book lists, and every keynote stage that isn't nailed.
It's expensive to live in the White House.
Yeah.
As many people don't know.
Sure.
I mean, much is not covered. You're paying for every bit of food that you eat. You know, you're not paying for housing and the staff in it, but everything, even travel. If you're not traveling with the president, if your kids are coming on a Bright Star, which is the First Lady's plane, we had to pay for their travel to be on the.
Megyn remembers it all. That infamous "for the first time in my adult life I'm proud of my country" line? The media turned it into a motivational poster. Megyn sees it as political doublespeak wrapped in designer clothing. She's not buying the Rags to Riches remix when Michelle is out here charging 5 figures to...
What are you thinking when you're giving this message? Like, what are you thinking in your mind? Because let's do data. Rob, can you type in Obama's net worth in 2007? What was Obama in 2007? 1.2 million, 1.3 million. Okay. So their net worth is, let's write this down. This is pre-White House. Their collective net worth was 1.3 million. Can you go to where their net worth was in 2016 when they're done being presidents? Okay. 2016. So their net worth, as expensive as it was, they went from being 1.3 million to 12.2 million. So that's 10xing your net worth in 8 years. And that's not
what really gets Megyn. The double game. Michelle plays the "I don't want the spotlight" role while practically needing eclipse glasses just to watch her media appearances. She's running a full-scale branding empire but insists she's camera shy. According to Megyn, Michelle's hardship stories feel like trailers for a Netflix docuseries. Tear-jerkers with commercial...
Negative, dark outlook on life I've ever heard from a public figure. Certainly one who's been given so much. Okay, her window into motherhood and having a child, the first thing she says, they mess you up. They mess you up. Maybe that's what happened to her. Maybe she was totally delightful before the 2 daughters came along. I don't know. She clearly is not enjoying motherhood and enjoying being in a marriage. Even less. It's not you if things get hard. It's all hard. It's all hard. This is so bad.
Enter Patrick Bet-David, less snark, more strategy. Where Megyn slices with sarcasm, Patrick comes in with the warboard. To him, Michelle's not just a former First Lady, she's the sleeper agent of political influence. podcast launches, keynote speeches, media moments all moving in sync like a military op. Patrick sees a silent campaign in progress, dressed up as lifestyle content.
Their net worth today, 2025. What is the net worth today?
It's got to be worth a couple $100 million. No?
It's two numbers. You see
There's
70 million to $250 million. So 70 million to $250 million. If you type in a couple other places, you'll see 100 million, you'll see 70 million, but you'll see a couple ranges. But let's just stick to the $70 million. Pre-presidency, 1.7. So expensive being at the White House. It was so expensive that our net worth went from 1.3 million to 12.2 million 8 years later. What an expensive life.
To Patrick, Michelle's greatest performance isn't her time in the White House, it's convincing the public she wants nothing to do with politics, while dominating every corner of it. From kids shows to college tours, documentaries to empowerment ads, she's not pulling back, she's expanding.
Needs an intervention. She needs our help. Okay, and that's not all. She can't make fun of herself. This has been obvious for years. She's incapable of laughing at her own expense, which is an absolutely dreadful quality in a person. Like, I don't think I could hire a person who works for me who doesn't have that ability.
Patrick watches as Michelle appears in schools, animated shows, and teen-targeted media. This isn't random. It's ideological infrastructure planting seeds under the radar. Where Megyn sees hypocrisy, Patrick sees a master plan. Two different lenses, one conclusion: Michelle's empire isn't just
curious. You're a very good communicator. Very. You were very good on stage. One of the best. You know how to rally. You actually do. Barack used to say, if I ever needed to win an election, I put Michelle on stage. I've heard that many times. Who are you inspiring with that message you're giving? Think about another younger African-American girl that's listening to this. Do you think you inspired her to want to be a first lady? What do you think you did? Do you think that motivates another girl that's watching this saying, I want to grow up to be like Michelle Obama, my hero? Oh, let me hear to see what she has to say about being a first lady. I bet she says it was the greatest honor. Oh no, in the back of her mind, she wishes he wouldn't have won because it was so expensive.
Their biggest issue? Lack of accountability. Michelle floats above criticism, media shields up, emotions in play. Praise her and you're a hero. Question her and you're a villain. Megyn's tired of this sacred cow treatment. Patrick calls it what it is, a fortress of adoration where dissent is treated like hate speech.
Of course, leads me to Michelle Obama. You're back, and she's given us a whole new realm of comments. Glenn, we saved them just for you because she's still...
I told your staff I only started watching this podcast religiously because of the times I've been on your show and you've talked about it by yourself or with me. So I'm very ready to talk Michelle Obama.
Oh, good. She's still just as bitter as ever. There's such a great new spin of complaints.
No one's saying Michelle isn't brilliant. But Megyn and Patrick want what the media seems too scared to demand: honest scrutiny. Megyn sees a flawless PR bubble. Patrick sees a potential political contingency plan. Either way, they're both pulling the fire alarm on the public love fest.
Love Newsom?
Yeah, so there's this story about Michelle Obama starting a podcast. And I kind of want to go through this, Michelle Obama's podcast. And her and her brother, they started a podcast. They look like twins. If you want to... No, I'm actually not being sarcastic.
Yeah, well, if she,
Rob, what is this, Rob?
Where's her
This
brother?
is the announcement of the podcast.
Okay, play the clip. Maybe this will help out a little bit with subscribership. Go ahead and play the clip.
Hey, TikTok, it's Michelle Obama, and I'm here with my big brother, Craig.
Hey, everybody.
We're here because we're excited to announce the launch of our new podcast called IMO.
Megyn zeroes in on the image management. From Harvard Law to dance-offs with Jimmy Fallon, not a hair out of place, not a misstep in sight. To her, this isn't authenticity, it's branding at retail-level perfection. She calls it what it is, an inspirational Barbie with a Netflix deal.
From her most recent episode, which still on YouTube, she's got like 200,000 subscribers. It's really amazing that now she's been doing this for how many episodes? She's been literally on every podcast of the left wing promoting it. And that's still all she's managed to get. Here she is interviewing Dr. Sharon Malone, perhaps better known as former Attorney General Eric Holder's wife. And therein lies the problem, as these two ladies married to two very famous men are pissed that they are not the alpha in terms of popularity and recognition in their marriage.
Patrick takes it further. He doesn't just see a public persona, he sees a political pipeline. Every speech, every appearance, every emotionally timed docuseries is part of a bigger rollout. He's not fooled by the "I don't want to run" talk. Because nothing says no interest in power like back-to-back book tours and orchestrated media blitzes.
You got roughly 100 million followers. Imagine having 100 million followers and you sold your book and it was record-breaking a few years ago when she sold her book. I don't know what the number was. How many copies did Michelle Obama's book sell? I don't know what the number is, but I heard it was record-breaking. Okay, 17 million copies was sold worldwide in 2018. That's when they were really, their reputation, 17 million copies. Everybody's like, oh my God, they made so much money. I don't know how much money was made. I think the number was like 36 million. How much did she get paid for it? For the books? I don't know. $65 million was paid.
Because she's supposed to be the star, Glenn. Michelle Obama. This dovetails perfectly with so many other comments she's made about how she is like, what about me? What about me? What did those 8 years in the White House do to my soul? And why isn't anyone asking? They shouldn't have to be told to ask about how I'm doing. Go ahead.
And here's where they land. If Michelle wants to wield massive influence, fine. But she doesn't get to dodge hard questions while bathing in applause. You can't dominate culture and politics and then play the victim when scrutiny shows up. Megyn calls out the emotional manipulation. Patrick maps the empire. Together, they expose what the press won't touch. Michelle Obama isn't just a brand, she's a movement with no opposition. And that, they are